The message arrives like cold rain against glass. The person you trusted has chosen another path, taken what was not theirs, spoken words that cut deeper than any blade. Your mind races toward one desperate question: why? You want explanations, justifications, some thread of logic that might stitch together the torn fabric of trust. But here, in this moment of raw betrayal, Seneca offers you a different compass entirely. Do not beg betrayal to make sense. This is not about forgiveness, not about moving on, not about letting go. This is about something far more fundamental: your refusal to hand over your inner direction to someone who has already shown they cannot be trusted with it. When you demand explanations from those who have betrayed you, you are asking them to guide you through the very darkness they created. Seneca understood this deeply. His letters reveal a man who faced political betrayal, false friends, and the ultimate treachery of Nero, the emperor he had advised and who would eventually order his death. Yet nowhere in his writings do we find him pleading for understanding from his betrayers. Instead, we find something far more powerful: a compass that points true north regardless of the storm. The first principle is this: explanations from betrayers are worthless currency. When someone breaks trust, their capacity for honest assessment of their actions is already compromised. They will offer you stories that serve their comfort, not your understanding. They will give you reasons that justify their choices, not truths that honor your pain. Seneca wrote that we must learn to distinguish between what serves our wisdom and what merely feeds our wounds. Seeking explanations feeds the wound while starving your wisdom. Consider this practically: betrays you. They are operating from a framework of self-justification. They have already constructed a narrative where their actions make sense to them. This narrative was not built to serve your peace or understanding. It was built to preserve their self-image. Why would you trust their explanation when you could not trust their loyalty? The second teaching cuts even deeper. Your need for explanation reveals attachment to an illusion. You believed you understood this person, trusted in their character, counted on their consistency. The betrayal shatters this belief, and your desperate search for explanations is actually an attempt to rebuild the illusion rather than face the truth. Marcus Aurelius reminds us that people will act according to their own judgments, and those judgments may be fundamentally different from what we assumed. This is not cynicism, this is clarity. When you stop begging betrayal to make sense, you stop trying to force reality into the shape of your expectations. You begin to see people as they are, not as you needed them to be. This sight, though initially painful, becomes the foundation of genuine wisdom. The third principle transforms your response entirely. Your dignity lies in your direction, not their explanation. Like a compass that maintains true north regardless of magnetic interference, your character must hold its heading without requiring validation from those who have lost their way. Seneca practiced this during his exile, when political enemies had destroyed his reputation and position. He did not spend his time writing letters demanding they justify their actions. Instead, he used the exile to deepen his philosophy and strengthen his inner compass. When you refuse to beg for explanations, you make a profound statement about the source of your worth. You declare that your understanding of right and wrong does not depend on their willingness to explain their violation of it. Your peace does not require their confession. Your path forward does not need their permission or their reasoning. The fourth teaching reveals the trap hidden in explanation seeking. It keeps you tethered to the betrayer's timeline and emotional landscape. Every moment you spend demanding their reasons is a moment stolen from your own recovery and growth. Seneca observed that we often become prisoners of other people's choices, allowing their decisions to dictate not just our circumstances, but our entire inner weather. When you beg betrayal to make sense, you hand them ongoing control over your mental and emotional state. This does not mean you ignore the betrayal or pretend it did not happen. It means you gather the information you need for practical decisions: what to do next, how to protect yourself, what boundaries to establish, without requiring the betrayer to serve as your philosopher or therapist. You take what serves your wisdom and leave what serves only their comfort. The fifth and final principle is perhaps the most liberating. Silence in the face of betrayal is not weakness, but mastery. When you do not demand explanations, you force the betrayer to sit with the full weight of their actions without the relief of your engagement. Your silence becomes more powerful than any argument, your self-possession more devastating than any accusation. Seneca wrote extensively about the power of withholding what others expect from us. When someone betrays you, they often expect drama, demands, emotional chaos. They may even prefer this to the alternative, facing their actions in the clear, unforgiving light of your composed silence. By refusing to beg for explanations, you deny them the comfort of seeing you diminished by their choices. This silence is not passive, but actively chosen. It is the silence of a lighthouse that continues its function regardless of the storm. Not because it does not notice the weather, but because its purpose transcends the temporary chaos around it. Your silence says, I do not need your words to know my worth, your reasons to know my direction, your permission to move forward. In practical terms, this philosophy reshapes everything. When betrayal strikes, you ask different questions. Not why did you do this, but what does this teach me about judgment? Not how could you, but how do I proceed with wisdom? Not don't I deserve an explanation, but what explanation could restore what trust has already revealed? This is the compass Seneca offers. Not magnetic north that wavers with every metal interference, but true north that holds steady regardless of external disturbance. When you stop begging betrayal to make sense, you discover that your peace never depended on their reasons. Your strength never required their validation. Your path forward never needed their blessing. The black ocean may rage, the storm may tear at every surface, but the lighthouse holds its position and maintains its light. This is not because the lighthouse is unaware of the storm, but because its function transcends the weather. When betrayal strikes, be the lighthouse, hold your position, maintain your light. Do not beg the storm to explain itself. If this moved you, comment the Citadel holds below. It is our sign that you carry the philosophy with you. Subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.